Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have one of these diamonds in the rough. His name is Devin Harrell. He's an edge rusher out of North Carolina A&T. Nice to have you, sir.
Nice to be here. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Hanging in there today. Um, so here we have really one of the better edge rushers in the HBCU circuit, and a guy who I feel like you guys really need to know. Devin, why don't you go ahead, give us a little bit of your background, tell me where you're from, and we'll just sort of walk through your journey as we go.
Well, as you know, my name is Devin Harrell. I'm from Gasoline, North Carolina. Went to Hunter Huss High School. I'm the youngest of six kids. I didn't have many offers coming out of high school, but I mean, North Carolina A&T actually finally came in after the senior season, offered me, came on a visit, felt like home, and kind of the rest is kind of history after that. Honestly, like I'm grateful. I was grateful to be here.
Gotcha.
So
I introduced you to you as Harrell. So is it Harrell?
I've always had an issue as a child. You can pronounce it either way you're comfortable. Honestly, Harrell, Harold. I mean, either way is getting done. Because
I just
honestly,
want to pronounce it like your parents do, so I don't get in trouble with them.
both my parents pronounce it differently. My dad is my dad's last name, but he pronounces it Harold. My mom says Harrell. That's why. All
Well,
right.
it is what it is, man. Let's just keep going. Um, Obviously, a guy who grew up in the North Carolina area. Talk to me about your days in high school. You went to Huss High School, so talk to me about those days.
Um, Really, it was kind of fast. It felt fast, honestly. It felt like moving a lot really, really fast. Like before I knew it, like I remember walking as a freshman before I knew it was a senior, but as like growing up, I always loved the sport of football. I never really loved anything else as much as football. Like I've been wanting to play that football since the age of 3, but I wasn't able to. So just really just going through that whole process and everything, growing up, playing it from the age of 5, and then you look back and you're like, dang, I'm 16, 17 years old. You're like, dang, what am I gonna do now? It's kind of, and I wasn't really thinking about college for real. Like I was like, I'm having fun. I was playing with a lot of my teammates from when I was a younger age. So I was really one thing about college until my coach came to me and was like, bro, you can do this. Like you really put your mind to it. I want to do it, but nobody's really coming in. Like a lot of people coming in, oh, come to our camp, come to our camp. I don't have the money for that. Kind of like I said, I'm the youngest of 6. So with that situation, I really didn't get to go to a lot of camps coming out of high school. So my recruitment was very low, but my stats didn't speak for that. You know what I'm saying? Like my stats were crazy. But yeah, high school was for the most part it was a very fun experience. I mean, like I said, I got to be at school with a lot of my childhood friends. I had an amazing coach, Coach McCoy. He's actually at where's he at? He's in South Carolina at he's at a charter school in South Carolina right now. He's just got Coach of the Year, so he was a very me get to where I am now. Also, Coach Julius Curry, my D line coach from high school. He coached me from the age of 8 all the way up until high school. So he was always kind of on my butt every day, man. You got to get out of here, man. You got to get out of here. So that's really for the most part like how my high school experience was. It was very fun. It was competitive. It was hard working. It was a lot of dedication. But I'm happy to be where I am now and the position that I'm in.
So were you always an edge rusher? I mean, did they move you around a little bit in high school? You play any offense?
Yeah, actually I played everything, honestly. Felt like as far as like special teams, offense, defense, I feel like I played everything. But on offense I played fullback, tight end, and I played a little bit of offensive guard, but we ain't gonna talk about that. That ain't for me, right? That ain't for me no more. We
No,
past
no,
that.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
But in any event, I mean, you found your way to North Carolina A&T. And for people who don't really understand the HBCU circuit and those schools, if you go to an HBCU school, NCA&T is where you want to be, because I mean it's really been one of the more successful HBCU schools probably in like the last decade, to
Yes,
be
sir.
real. So
Yes, sir.
you guys did such a phenomenal job. You've been in so many celebration bowls, it's unreal, which is part of the reason why you guys switched conferences a couple seasons ago and said, you know what, let's get into this bigger race. But talk to me about this. Talk to me about North Carolina A&T, bro. I mean, what makes it so special for you?
North Carolina team, A&T, man, is different, man. I mean, like all HBCUs have legacies and everything, but for some reason, North Carolina's A&T's is very different for me. Like, dude, this is a little more of a family vibe, especially on the football team. It's a family vibe, it's a brotherhood, and then it's the people, their peers around campus, professors. It makes it feel like home again. Okay? It's like home away from home almost. So it makes you comfortable. It's some things that have ups and downs. Yeah, that's how life, that's how college is. It don't matter what it is, but for the most part, is very, very fun. Is entertaining. It's very entertaining. It's very knowledge. You get a lot of knowledge on campus. It don't matter if it's in class. If you're just walking through, you might learn something new you didn't even know last week. So it's like you're always learning a lot here. So for one thing I can say about that is yeah, it's that. It's a lot of yeah, it's a lot. But I mean,
So Devin, I assume you either you've either already graduated or you will be soon, but what'd you major in?
I'm a sports science major. I graduated officially fall of 2021.
Cool. So got that degree, check. And obviously you're moving on with some of the other bucket list things to do in life, which obviously for you is to get into the NFL. But let's just talk a little bit more about your journey and everything. So you end up getting that degree. And then obviously you were a part of that defense. So talk to me about that defense. How would you describe that defense at NCA&T?
Relentless, hungry. I can go. They some hitters, man. They different. Everybody, the defense, man. Everybody wants it. Everybody want to make the play. So it's like you really racing each other to the play. You got 11 guys racing to the play each time, so it makes you compete in practice or in the game. You know what I'm saying? So we might be out there talking junk to each other, but like, hey, I'm gonna see you there. Like I'm gonna meet you there. Jermaine McDaniel, the other DN on the other side from me, man. That right there, he pushed me to another limit. Like I've never had nobody as a player push me to a limit because I always wanted to beat him. So it made me like, okay, now I know what I gotta do to beat him to that spot because I know he's gonna be there. So it's like, now what do I gotta do to get there before him? And when me and him on the field together, it was magic, man. I loved it so much. Like, and then along with our linebackers, man, we had a lot of good linebackers, man. We missed one this past season, Kanye Howard, man. And I missed him so much. Like he was the big help. When I say he was the brains that we needed and had on that defense. It made everyone's job 10 times easier just because of his knowledge as a middle linebacker, the captain of the defense. So that kind of helped a lot. But all around, man, our defense it's always been a standard that we set. We stop the run first, then we always stop the run first. We call it making chicken. Stop the run, protect the football, win the kicking game. That's all they live. That's the motto. So we always live by it, and that was a standard since I got here, and hopefully it's a standard that keeps on going throughout the future. So
cool.
We're gonna see.
Well, you talked a little bit there about competing actually alongside your fellow teammates. I mean, and really pushing each other towards really some great success. So, but what about all the other guys that you have faced? I mean, tell some guys who you have faced, like who's maybe like your stiffest competition. Because I mean, let's be real. I mean, a lot of people, they're gonna knock these small school guys because they play small school competition, but I know you guys play some really freaking good athletes. Who's some of your best competition to date, man?
It can be any position or like
whatever you want to give me.
I'm gonna say Xavier Smith, man, from FAMU. He's different. I'm not gonna lie. When we first faced him, it was like my first year really playing. They could call him Professor X. I'm like, who is Professor X? Like, who is this guy? And he showed it. I was like, all right, yeah, he's a different guy. He's a different breed, man. He has it. That's probably one of the toughest guys that I didn't have to face head on every play. That was like, bro, what the world is this? Like, this dude was breaking out of nowhere. I'm like, man, I'm talking to the DBs. I'm like, we got to do something with this dude. Like, we got to do something because this is not it. But for the most part, that might be one of the toughest guys I've ever had to really compete against. I mean, that whole FAMU team was crazy, though. They always gave us good competition. So that was a good. I loved always playing against them because I know they're gonna give us our best. We're gonna give them theirs. So
It's crazy. I mean, obviously you're talking about Xavier Smith, who plays wide receiver for FAMU, and yeah, very hard guy to you know, play against, because especially for you, man, because you can't do anything about it. Because I mean,
you get through 'em, I'm
he's
like,
way
boy,
out
get 'em.
here, and your job is right here. So yeah, so you were able to really do a lot there. And I kind of want to just talk to you about what you feel is you. So when I introduce you as an edge rusher. So what do you feel is like maybe some of your better attributes as a prospect? So give me a feel for who you believe you are, maybe at the next level.
I feel like as a prospect, I feel like I have a diverse game. I can drop into coverage and cover running backs and tight ends. Maybe, I mean, I can cover zones. And I can also rush up the edge and get to the quarterback if need be. And I can also stop the run as well. So that's why I say I have a diverse game, and I don't feel like a lot of defensive ends or edge rushers, as you would say. I mean, I don't feel like a lot of them can do that on a consistent basis, all three. You see what I'm saying? So with that, I feel like that's what sets me apart. I mean, that's just my confidence in myself, honestly. So if team want to take a chance with me, hey, you know where to come. Come on.
Gotcha. I know some guys may not like the comp thing, like to the next level, like pick a guy at the next level. What does he look like? So I mean, I'm not going to necessarily ask that question of an NFL comp, but like when you look at guys at the next level, who are you looking at? I mean, who are you trying to take bits and pieces of their game? I mean, or maybe even who are you a big fan of who plays your position? Can you give me a couple of examples?
TJ Watt. That's the one and only answer. TJ Watt. That's I love him. I love the way he plays the game. I love it. Like him, the Bosa brothers, his brother, big brother JJ. I like the way all of them played. All of them. Like they were. And also, I'm shout out my own guys, man. I'm tripping. Daryl Johnson. He's injured right now. He's come back from his injury, but that he showed me coming into college, like, this is what you got to do. Like, this is what you're going to have to do. Like, he showed me if you do this, you can make it. No matter where you come from, no matter what school you at, you can make it. If they gonna come and see you, so what you gotta do is show out. Every time they come to see you, it's gonna put a bug in their ear, and it's gonna help them. It's gonna put some vision. It's gonna make them see like, okay, yeah, he has it. Take a chance with him, see what he can do, man. He's very talented. He's very smart, knowledgeable of the game. He wants it. He's a dog. He's hungry for it. So that's why I always liked him too. Yeah, I got to see him in the rough in college. So him in the league now, I know he's nothing compared to what he was in college. He's way more advanced. So I just can't wait to see
Right.
him get the field.
Cool. So, Devin, you were able to put together a nice season this past season, being named first team all conference. And when you look at that accolade and really everything that you were able to accomplish during your time at NCANT, what are you most proud of?
We talking on or off the field? Because I mean,
Well, how do you want to answer that question? You can answer that question
yeah,
either way.
I'm most grateful for really getting a college degree. That's the most important thing. Because I mean, you come to college, that's what you're really coming for. Yeah, you come to play sports, but the first thing is the degree. So I'm grateful for that for the most part. But as far as career wise, winning the Celebration Bowl in 2019 for the most part, just because I got rings from 2017, 2018 because I was on the team, but I wasn't playing fully. But 2019 was the season I really got to play. So I was like, okay, I deserve this. I earned this. So it's like, that's probably my biggest accomplishment. I feel like winning that 2019 Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a very hard fought game. Trying to remember, that was Alcorn, wasn't it?
Alcorn, man, that was probably the high. I think that might have been the high scoring game like I've ever been in. 64-44. That was just like it was getting crazy. Like second half when it got crazy. I was like, wait a minute, like it's too much scoring. Like it's a lot of scoring going on. I was like, we got to stop this. Wait a minute. But yeah, so it was a fun game. It was probably the best game I've probably had. One of the best games I probably had in my career, and it was fun. It was very, very fun.
Cool. So, yeah, I mean, you were able to do well, and then after your time there at NCANT, Dude, you got an opportunity to participate in the HBCU Legacy Bowl. So let's
Sure.
talk briefly about that. So give me some of the highlights of that week for you.
It was a great experience for the most part. I mean, it was a very good experience just to be there because I've never been to New Orleans for one, and then just to be considered one of the best top 100 HBCU players in the nation. I was like, I can accept that. I was like, I appreciate it. I was like, maybe somebody got recognized because honestly, I feel like I didn't have the best season. I feel like I didn't have the best stats, like stat wise, but I feel like I helped a lot of my guys make plays, which helped us win. You know what I'm saying? So I might have set up something to help another guy make a play. So it was like we all working together as one to meet a common goal. I'm happy with that. I don't really care. I mean, stats don't not gonna always show up. Some of the best players might not make a tackle the whole might like to tackle the whole game, but guess what? They won. That's the main thing. But yeah. So I mean, that's just really the main thing for me. But
Well,
ouch.
talk about the Legacy Bowl, man. I mean,
Legacy
obviously,
Bowl. Legacy Bowl was I'm not gonna lie, it kind of felt like camp a little bit.
all
It did feel
right.
like it felt like camp a little bit, but I mean, for the most part, just the experience, getting to be there, just the whole scenery, the activities we had, the kind of the short bonds we made really fast with the teammates that was on our side. It was a fun experience, just to hear different guys' stories and everything, see where they came from, what they went through. And it's like kind of some guys' stories might be better, some guys' stories might be worse, and it always make you realize like it's like everyone has a different path, but everyone's trying to meet a common goal. So it kind of made me, what's the word? I'm getting choked on my words. I'm sorry. It wants to make me appreciate what I earned and where I got to. So it made me realize like you got noticed for something. You did something to get noticed. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it just, I don't know, man.
No,
I'm sorry.
I feel where you're getting at. I mean, obviously, you got to put a squad together. You got this all-star game. I mean, and you're put in a situation where, you're seeing guys that you've seen as opposition all year long, all career long, really, and
Yeah.
they're playing like right alongside you. I mean, dude, there's a lot that happens during an all-star event, and most of which is really building relationships. So, I mean,
Yeah.
whether it be with those players, the coaches there, and even getting a chance to sit down with some interviews, being interviewed by NFL scouts. How did that go with you?
For the most part, I didn't really get to talk to anybody just because what happened? What happened? I forgot. I don't know the first day. I mean, the first day I was very under the weather. I just did not feel it. Like, and I think that might have kind of deterred them a little bit. But for like the second day, I feel like I did a lot better. I just think I really did. The first day just I feel like it kind of deterred them. But I feel like once they go watch film and see me at pro day, they can be like, we should have probably talked to this guy out there to get to know who he is. But that's my
Well,
plan though. So I'm just
well, since you mentioned it, when is that pro day?
pro day is next Tuesday, actually, the 28th at NC State. So it's about that time. It's got to get out there. I actually got one of my guys here with me right now. He's also participating in the pro day with me. So we got
Cool. So, what are your own personal expectations for that pro day? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to show people? Are there certain, I don't know, numbers you're trying to obtain? Can you tell me a little bit of that?
we want to show scouts that HBCUs have athletes that's capable of being on the next level, and also that you should never judge a book by its cover. Never. I feel like I feel like the society in general, like there's a lot of people judge HBCU football for what it is, and it's like, oh, it's lesser competition. No, it's athletes everywhere. For instance, the guy from Fayetteville State, he just won the Super Bowl. It's like, you know what I'm saying? That's my point. Like, you can't sit here and say, oh, they went to HBCU, they don't know how to get it. For another instance, Daryl Johnson, Tony McCray, he played in the league for 5 years. Tariq Cohen, it's like Matt McCain he's got traded to the Lions. So it's like people like that. You sit here saying, oh, they went to HBCU, but it's Jerry Rice, Shannon Sharp, people like that. Like, put respect on HBCUs. That's my main thing. Like, literally observe these guys. Don't just kind of brush them over. That's my biggest thing. But when I'm gonna go out there, man, I'm gonna show out, man. You do the best I can, give it my all, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I mean, Bro, I mean, we've seen people pave the way for guys like you were talking about. I mean, and I think people need to put more emphasis on really just trying to do their scouting, do their work. I mean, there are guys at every single level. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, they're out there, and people, and scouts will find you if you're any good. So, um, I do want to take a chance and meet you really outside of football for just a few minutes, if you don't mind. So, tell me something about yourself that I don't know, maybe not everybody knows. Anything interesting, fun, unique, passions, interests, hobbies, anything you want to share.
Ain't really too much. Like, I'm really a simple type of person for real. Like, I'll be like outside of football, I'll be chill, laid back, might watch some TV, play my game. Like, I really be to myself. I don't really like going out to parties and stuff because there ain't no trouble out there for the most part. So me, I'm
No,
really like, when I say I'm really a homebody, like simple as possible. I really like. I mean, as far as a passion though, I always wanted to really try to get like once football's over me, I really wanted to try to get into chiropractic therapy. I always wanted to. That's real a passion of mine. I've always kind of been fascinated with that for the past 4 or 5 years. So I was like, I want to do that's really my initial plan to try to get on the master's, but A&T didn't offer it. So I was like, find another route because I'm not giving up on this football thing. So
well, I mean, maybe after the football thing is over, maybe in the off season, I mean, you can maybe look into that a little bit more. But cool. You were talking there about obviously just kind of chilling, watching some TV and stuff. What's your favorite TV show? You got something that you like to watch?
I got a lot of shows, but really, all the 50 Cent producers, all of them is BMF, Power, Force, Raising Cane. I like all them series and things like that, and I also like Blacklist too on Netflix. Those probably my favorite shows to be watching for real.
Nice. You got a favorite movie of all time, or maybe even a favorite quote?
Man, you asking the wrong questions about my favorite movie, bro. I got
Well,
a lot.
hey man, I gotta ask the hard
You
one.
good? You
So
good? You good? This is the fact. I got a lot of. I'm gonna probably say Talladega Nights. Will Ferrell. That's definitely top three. That man's funny, but
it's crazy
that's
because for some people, Will Ferrell is like night and day. It's like you either love him or you hate him. So
dude's funny,
so yeah, cool. I mean, obviously, a fun movie. So
man.
cool. Well, nice to meet you. Kind of off the field a little bit. Tell me about your hometown. I mean, again, that what was it? Again, in North Carolina. Tell me about that. What makes it
But
special for you?
you probably forgot the name. It's Gastonia, North Carolina.
Gaston, yeah.
It's not really it's considered a city. I don't consider it a city. It's kind of small for real to me, but I mean it's 20 minutes from Charlotte, so it's really considered. I guess that's considered a big city. But grew up there my whole life. I had a lot of friends. It was fun. We made the fun of the most we could. I mean, my dad, he always we grew up watching him. He details cars and things for a living, so I always got to see him every day after school. So getting to come home and see my dad, like that's probably the best thing a young boy can ever like have. My mom, she always working hard, going to school, things like that, and just trying to make the best life for us possible. So but Gastonia as a whole, it's an improving city. Has a long way to go, but you got to make the most of it of where you're at, honestly, for the most part. But that's really about it. Nothing really interesting about it.
Well, I'm sure
Like,
there's something there. I mean, obviously, family is there, and that's one of the things that really makes it special for you. I mean, kind of a family guy yourself. I mean, like you said, you're the youngest of several kids, and so,
six, that's
um,
sick.
yeah, I don't even know what kind of life that had to be, man. I mean, just kind of fighting for food on a
It's,
regular basis.
it's crazy though. You fight a lot, but man, it's cool because the thing is, if you were the only child, I know if I was the only child, I would be like, hey, I ain't got nothing to do because your friends don't answer the phone. Your friends can't come out and play. What you gonna do now? Now you by yourself in the house. But now having siblings, it has its pros and cons to it. But as we got older, we became a lot closer. So it's like we like me and my brother now, the one with my brother we used to butt heads so much. We probably fought 3-4 times every week. Like now we the best of friends. We super close. So it's like that's what I love about it, about having siblings, man. You love and hate each other, but but at the end of the day, you always got each other's back. So that's for me.
Nice, Devin. So, I do want to kind of close up our session. It's been fun getting to chit chat with you about you and your story. As we wrap things up, I want you to look into that camera and address all them scouts out there. Tell them why they need to take a chance on you, why the heck they sleeping on you, and why and what and how you would make a great addition to their team. So go ahead and close us with that.
To all the NFL teams, if you need a competitive, hard-working edge rusher, come talk to me. I'm available and I'm ready. Come talk to me for real. We trying to get this money. We trying to get these dubs. Trying to win these NFL championships, man. Let's get it.
Awesome. It's short and sweet and to the point, man. I mean, I'm available. I'm ready. So, but yeah, I mean, a guy who has really put together a solid resume there for NCA&T. Devin, do wish you very best of luck in this process. All right.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Devin Harrell, edge rusher out of NCA&T. Check this guy out.